Kia ora atu koutou katoa. It's wonderful to have you with us on a big day of rugby league in today's action from the New Zealand Rugby League Women's Championship from Davies Park and Rahui Pōkeka Huntly. Mihi anō kia koe. It's great to have you with us this afternoon. And what I say is a great celebration of the code on Sky Sport throughout the day. And we're bringing you action of round 5 of the Women's Premiership. It's Auckland up against Waikato. And really great to have rugby league icon beside me today for our commentary, Crystal Rota. Tēnā koe, Crystal.
Tēnā koe, Dale. Always an honour and a privilege to call alongside you, especially a game down in the Waikato in this prestigious park. Yeah,
it's got a rich history too, and obviously the home ground for Waikato Rugby League of long standing. Some wonderful games have been played here over the years. Well, let's have a look at the lineup. These two teams come in somewhat evenly matched, having played 4 games and just the 1 win. Of course, Crystal with a long association with Women's Rugby League. We're talking the Warriors and the Knights and the New Zealand Māori and Kiwi Ferns. So good to have you with us, and we're looking forward to this one today. Now, this is the final scores of the round as well, 24-22, close one here at Massey Park.
Yeah, it was a close one yesterday. That was the men's game between the Vulcans and Akarana. Very close game, only by 2 points. Vulcans were very happy with that one against Akarana, who have been informed this campaign.
Well, let's have a look at the table as well and squads as they get rolling out. Crystal's associated with that county's Manukau Tensi. We'll be pretty pleased with the form and looking forward to a big game next week in the final of our Women's Premiership. Waikato, on the other hand, well, they had a win against Wellington recently. The Auckland squad will be really wanting to finish their season too with a win against Waikato this afternoon. But really the two top teams, the Falcons and your squad as well, so you'll be pretty pleased, and no doubt there's a stack of work ahead for you in the week ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game against Akarana next week. The scoreboard yesterday doesn't reflect the team that they are or what they'll bring next week, but we're very excited for that one next week.
Well, here we are as we look at the lineup here. Firstly, for the Waikato squad, Vic Hickey is the coach, and we'll be looking forward to the work of Milo Ururuku. Of course, at the back, they've got some pace out wide with Payne and Kiriopa, and driving them through the front. Dudley with the responsibility of distribution as acting half, and Tamaki Whatarangi Iripa are the bookends. Let's hear some thoughts from the coach going into this one. Here's Victor Hickey.
Well, Victor, great result last week against the Wellington Orcas in what was a wonderful game. How much confidence has that given your team?
Yeah, it's given the girls a lot of confidence coming away with that win last week, and it's put them in really good stead for this week.
Chance today to leapfrog the Vulcans. How much motivation in that?
Yeah, well, I think it's not just about the Vulcans, it's about Waikato staying in the Premier grade and you know, the whole program around what's been happening in Waikato and keeping it going and the momentum going for next year. So the girls got something to look up to.
You talk about that as motivation. What about, what's your view of the strength of the game here in the Waikato?
Over the last 3 years, I mean, it's only been going the main competition for 3 years, and it's got stronger every year, I think. Still a lot of development work to go, though. But no, I'm pretty happy with what's happening, and these girls are leading the way, I guess.
Beautiful day. Hope for a good game. All the best.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, the Waikato squad, they'll be wanting to do well here. Obviously, we're witnessing a growth in the popularity of the women's game across the board as we go now to the Auckland Vulcans lineup, and at the helm there is George Carmont. Crystal?
Yeah, this team is looking strong. In the halves, they've got Danny Nicole Gray. She's been good for them this campaign. Got 13 there, Crosby. She's ball playing 13, so she'll be good to have in the middle of the park. Kafusi, she's been strong this campaign as well. At second rower, Araya and Gale in the props, and then Louis at dummy half. She's been really good all campaign. She's been scoring most games actually from dummy half, just, you know, jumping up from dummy half and scoring tries. So very strong team here, the Vulcans, and they'll be looking and hunting for a win today.
Tēnā koe, let's hear from the connections for the Vulcans before kick-off.
Well, Ming, how's the squad shaped up this weekend?
We're looking good. We're looking good for today's game. Giving a couple of girls who hasn't played, good rotation off the bench and some good minutes. We're good to go.
You pushed Akarana all the way last week. How disappointing was it not to be able to get up over them?
I wouldn't say disappointed. We were just we're quite proud of what we achieved. It was our own little effort areas and little mistakes that let us down. So we were our own enemy.
How have you viewed this season's campaign?
it's been awesome. Just getting a bunch of girls together over 2 weeks before the campaign started, and we're starting to blend really well. And if it was a little bit longer, I think the results will be a bit different. So it's been awesome.
And what are you expecting from this Waikato side?
To be honest, I'm sure being the last game of the campaign, playing local, I think they'll bring their best, and everyone will want that win at the end of the game.
Awesome, all the best today.
Thank you, guys.
And really pleased to have you with us here this afternoon. Like I say, it's a big day of rugby league on Sky, starting with our provincial championships, highlighting grassroots, flax roots, rugby league crystal. And really, this is where it all starts. A number of these players are very mindful, too, that when they look later on in the day at those running out of the NRLW, come from small towns across Australia and New Zealand. So it's not as if it's dominated just by urban players, and an opportunity to shine if you can put it all together in this match this afternoon.
Yeah, it's good that the ladies have these opportunities, obviously, to be aired, to get some exposure, to be seen, because, like you said, some of the greatest players come out of the smallest towns, like in the Waikato area. We've got some greats that have come out of small places, but you know, they wouldn't have this kind of exposure if it wasn't for the screenings of these games. So it's awesome that the ladies have these opportunities.
Kia ora, and great to have you with us. The Sunday afternoon of Rugby League on Sky Sport, round 5 of the Women's Premiership, and it is Waikato working from right to left, and we'll start it off with a good haul up as well. Epikamutu Kepe is the whistleblower today as Waikato get the football, and the first carry for Tamaki Whatarangi is to ground here. Well, the tracks obviously been played on many times in some wonderful games here at Davies Park in the heart of Huntly. And we'll just see how it holds up through the day. A lot of rain up and down the country. Showery conditions is the short side effort. First ball down on the far side of the field on halfway as well. And it's deemed to knock on appropriately enough as we'll settle here for Auckland with the first scrum feed. Yeah, some of these Auckland players, a nice mix again of youth and experience. You'll know them quite well, having worked so intimately in the club scene up here in Tamaki Crystal. But some good names to look out for. Whose efforts are you looking forward to keeping an eye on this afternoon, Crystal?
Yeah, there's a lot of players in this Vulcan side. As we know, the Vulcans these girls haven't made either counties or Falcons, but deserving so of it. So there's a few good names in this team. Oh, here's another error that we've seen. 2 errors early on in the game.
It happened in yesterday's game as well. Some early game nerves up to play the ball as Ngarunga put him up. Again, a good carry with some attitude. That's Precious City Park. She takes it to the 40-metre line. Paige Dudley works the ball to the right-hand side. Wrapping up in the tackles, Trinity Crosby, the back rower for the Vulcans. And again, getting into their work early, Stella Tamaki Whatarangi. This is where all the club finals for Waikato Rugby League have traditionally been played as well in the women's and men's game. And a late defensive effort across the top from Ropati. Silences the run as we see Atatuaka now with a solid carry, this time wrapped up by her opposite, Whakaosalea. Here's Dudley. Little grubber to the end goal, seeking out what could well be a try in the corner to get us underway, and that's the way the referee sees it as well. Well, just a little fumble there from the Vulcans. We'll just celebrate out wide here as we see Dudley. Then into the hands of Milo, trying to thread the needle. It's knocked back and scored in the corner.
Yeah, good vision by Milo. She was in everything last week as well in their win over Wellington. Just playing good eyes up footy, spots some space in behind, gets a good grubber through. Unfortunately, it's knocked on there from the Vulcan side, regathered again by Milo, and she gets Waikato on the board early in this game.
That's a good start for them as well. You can see the clouds in the background there, very overcast. It's been thundering down across the country, but then patches of sunshine as well, which we're witnessing now. That'll be a lift in confidence as Vainu Milo in for her first try of the afternoon. Well, Crystal, looking forward to the NRLW later today too. Plenty of New Zealand's representation in both squads there, as we'd expect. This is a difficult conversion. It'd be good if it goes through. It's up and it's around, but just across the face of the goal mouth. It'll be 4-0 as we work into minute number 4 in this clash.
Yeah, very excited about the NRLW, as you said. Broncos have plenty of our Kiwi players playing in there. It's going to be a good matchup, though. Roosters are being dominant this season as well, so really looking forward to watching that game later on this afternoon.
You know, coming in to call this match this afternoon, I was reminded of being a kid and watching the legendary Australian standoff, Bob Fulton, and I don't think I could recall ever seeing a chip and regather. It's pretty commonplace nowadays in footy, but as a kid, I'm talking 1971 here, I was reminded that the Australian team played a test at Davies Park against New Zealand in 1971. They won handsomely, and Bob Fulton scored 3 tries, including the chip over the top. And a few days later, they had the return test match at Carlo Park in Auckland, which I was lucky enough to be at as a youngster, and a 24-3 result. So Davies Park's featured in internationals as well, as we see Dudley with another weaving run. And Waikato are getting themselves off to a good start. Both teams have played 4 games each and have won just the 1 game in season 25. But this is another good carry, and bit of attitude on show here from Maiava Atutuaka. Dudley getting across to the hard-working Tamaki Whatarangi. Good solid D across the top from Ilika Fusi. Getting the kick in, stepping into the roll, Ali Kornui. That's a good downtown to get underway. Good set from Waikato off the back of their try.
Yeah, Victor Hickey would be great, happy with that set. Just getting to the back end of their sets. Nice completion. And then backing it up with some solid defence here. Really showing some lateral movements, this Waikato side, and getting the defence of the Vulcan side moving, really testing them out. Let's see what the Vulcans can do here.
It's not just rugby league, of course. A lot of these wahine involved in touch footy, social touch as well. So they're used to flicking it wide, as we see another spirited carry from Whakaosalea. Out to the prop forward, this is Tas Lauvao Araya. And that's a good carry too, setting it nicely for the blue and whites. Right in front of the sticks, 20 metres out, darting run from Louis. Good meter grabber for the dummy half, and she's ultimately put away by Idipa. But there are the posts right in front. Playing that 18's Danny Gray, the co-captain. Over the top, the Vulcans with an opportunity here through Neil on the far side of the football field. But the Waikato defenders are there to ensure that that set comes to an end. The turnover is there. So good defensive work as well for the home squad. Not the need to do too much just here. Some settling runs would be appropriate, but surely ball retention is paramount as the blue and whites get into their defence. 2 proud colours of Auckland traditionally, and a penalty as well, so Waikato get a bit of a piggyback out of their danger zone.
Yeah, it's not what Vulcans would have wanted, especially in this area of the field. Bit of a penalty here. Waikato, though, showing some good shape, showing some good attacking skills. Wouldn't have been the best option for the Vulcans, running it on the 5th and final. George probably wouldn't be too happy with that, although it wasn't a bad finish in where the area they landed. But here we see Waikato get to march up the field with some easy yards off that penalty.
Quick tap and 10 metres there for Nikita Ngarango Porima. She has the football as Dudley gets hold of it and can't get the ball away. So getting in on defence too. Young and enthusiastic, the tackler. And again, straight and direct. That's the sort of forward work that's needed early on in the clash. 7 gone, 1 try in, 4-0. That try scored by Milo. Out wide, and again, the hard-working prop forward, Tamaki Whatarangi. 3 blue and white defenders. There's Dudley. Gets in and says, get off our player. We want to get on with business. Through Milo. Wide ball, nice, and out to Kornui. She's wrapped up in the tackle of Jayla Ropati, who puts her away here on the 5th and final tackle. What have Waikato got in store? It comes across into the hands. The chip over the top and into the gap, but the bounce is clean at the back and picked up nicely there by Chase Slade, who's put away about 10 metres out from her own line.
Yeah, it's good identification there from Milo to see where the space was, but good cover by Slade. Vulcans here having their speed set to get out of their red zone. seeing how much yards they can make.
Well, the Auckland Vulcans have the football now, and they need to make some ground. And again, maintain possession through the set. There's some thoughts of a high tackle. It's George Carmont and his coaching staff in the mix. And it will be the Vulcans with a penalty. And the referee, as you can see here, just drifting a little high. In fact, it was for laying on the tackled player and not rolling away. That's another good carry too. Strong carry from Peter Gale. Quick play of the ball. Nice dummy half work as the back rower chimes in as well. Good meterage here. Good run as well from Crosby. Waikato will need to be on their game defensively. It comes out to Laval. Araya once again. Well, the props are really making their mark. But from both squads, to be honest, here in the early stages of this one, and that's another huge run as well. And then popping the pass skillfully out to Fina Louis. She's put the ball away. It's still in control. It's okay. There's the dummy, and there's the whole shot. Danny Gray's in to score. The co-captain comes around to improve position, and the Vulcans score after 9 minutes.
Yeah, beautiful try there from Danny Nicole Gray. But it was a team effort. The foundation was laid here by the middles, the second rowers, getting strong carries as such. Louis looking for someone to give the ball to. Danny Nicole Gray picks up the ball, throws the dummy, and goes in to score herself. Beautiful team effort, though, to score this try.
I love the smile on Danny's face. Have a look at it here, because at the start she thought, oh no, I've dropped the ball, but was able to just sort of juggle it. Lovely little step here. Watch the pickup here. So, and then through, finding herself in some space. And the smile as wide as the Harbour Bridge. Good start for the co-captain, and we're level pegging with a kick from pretty much right out in front. And Danny Nicole Gray will get the opportunity to convert her own try.
Yeah, she's having the kicking honours today. Try and add 2 extra points to her own try.
I'm thinking it should go through, but yesterday there were a couple of... Yes, well, see, I was just about to say she should get it from here. But you've got to be a bit careful, don't you? And that smile now is, well, one to bewilderment. How did I miss that one? 4 apiece we're locked up here. Round 5 of the Women's Premiership coming at you live. It's the start of a big rugby league day here on Sky Sport, and an overcast day at Orahui Pōkeka. In fact, we're just getting a check there. It looked as though it missed. The flags went up. Just checking with our director.
Yeah, I thought the flags went up too, but it didn't look like she got the kick over. A little bit of confusion here.
Well, let's have another look.
No, she missed, but the flags went up.
Well, I'm not quite sure how our scoring's going to look there. I'll be reliant on our director, who is a very astute man, and so at the moment it's reading 4 apiece. We'll keep it at that until someone puts a 6 up. How's that sound, Crystal?
Yep, deal. Definitely, the ball definitely didn't go through the sticks, so not sure why the flags went up.
Hard to read. Angles can be deceiving on television, we know that. So this is Tash. Laval, Araya. As the Vulcans mount another challenge. Up through the middle comes Whakaosalia. That's a good run too. Post-contact meters have been impressive here with some of these hard-running forwards. It's great. And she'll kick it. The chase is on at the back. Waiting. Kornui will be content to take the tackle, I'd suspect. And Young Ali is to ground. Waikato, the mighty Waikato with the football. And of course the Vulcans, named after the volcanic field that Auckland City sits upon. Probing out wide. Ngarunga, Porima, good run. Inside ball, this is Ngarunga. Once again, Porima. Good tackle here from Puena Sasa. But Waikato need a quick play of the ball. That's duly delivered to the back row. Sarah Baldwin. She goes straight, puts the fend on and the spin and is wrapped up. And to ground. Waikato setting. This is Tokamo. She manages to get the ball away to the back row. Sarah Baldwin has got some wheels and peels back the meters before she's put away. On the far side of the field, Paige Dudley looking for the kick, and the referee says it's been knocked on. So some good play, end-to-end football, and both teams, as we hoped for, pretty evenly matched in the early exchanges.
Yeah, unfortunate there into the set from Paige Dudley, try to get a kick away. But that was good line defence from the Vulcans. They had some good line speed to push up, but Waikato got down that right edge, got a bit of a break, but they managed to scramble across, make some cover. See J-Lo Ropati here, taking a nice carry for Vulcans.
It's a good opportunity, as you mentioned, out of the city of Auckland. We've got a number of squads, including Counties Manukau. But to have the Vulcans in the mix as well, some of these younger players getting an opportunity to play rep footy. And again, been hugely impressed by Trinity Crosby. He continues to run with some attitude and swagger.
Oh, yeah, she played in my Papakura team this year, and she, not the biggest body, but so strong. And look, we have a break here from the Vulcans. Can they finish? Good cover there from Kornui.
That's Georgia Walton-Benedict. She too will want to quick play the ball. Louis has it. Through to Gray now. Gray holding, then delivering. Here's an intercept. Is the wheels evident here today? The chasers are on. And away goes Janaya Kang-Rewa, who will go 80 metres to score. And an intercept could easily have been a try at the other end of the field. Instead, on the scoreboard, another 4-pointer for Waikato.
Oh, she's been outstanding for this Waikato side this campaign, Janaya King-Rewi. See here, she's got herself in a beautiful position for this intercept. Literally passed straight to her hands. Got the pace to back herself. Just pins her ears back and goes all the way. Got plenty of Vulcans chasers in the picture, but no one close enough to hold her out from stopping this try.
Yeah, well, that's the way it works sometimes, and you call them 12 pointers actually, because you're looking as though you're going to score yourself, and all of a sudden you're chasing all the way down the field. Janaya King-Rewi is the try scorer. Just still checking to see the validity or not of the previous conversion. The previous conversion seemingly wiped out by the officials at the ground. I think our director Dino for checking that one. It's strange, you don't see that very much where we think it's missed and two flags go up.
Yeah.
Has that happened
I don't
to
think
you
I've
before?
ever seen that.
I don't think it's happened to me either.
And you've been commentating a lot longer than I have.
Well, since 1873. Here we go. There's the conversion attempt from Ali Kornui. This one's away as well. Now, did that one miss?
Yeah.
And the flags were down. We're locked up. 8-4 the scoreline here today. Big mihi to all of our wahine and the squads that support them. When I say squads, each of them come from proud whānau. And this is a nice run too, isn't it, Janaya? She must have been thinking, is anyone coming at me? I'm looking. Oh, thank goodness. I'm going to get there. Well, that's one for the show reel, sister. You can put that one on and show your tamariki and mokopuna one day. Oh, Mama's still got the wheels. Way to go for the flying number 4. Good stuff. I've always loved the Waikato jersey.
Yeah, it is. I love their colours together.
Of course, Crystal's been coaching this year. The Papakura squad won the Auckland Championship show, as well as being a gun player. She's really turned her attention to coaching. How are you enjoying that, Mahi?
Yeah, I enjoy coaching. I love teaching and giving back to the game. It can be very stressful though. I just don't like selecting teams because I don't like upsetting people and not being able to name players. So that's probably the hardest part about coaching. But teaching footy, I absolutely love it.
Yeah, kia ora. And it is tough too. Hey, this is a nice run again as the fullback chimes in, keeping it alive on the far side, giving the ball some movement. This is flash play from the Waikato squad. They're really setting the stage for what could be another good try if they can keep it alive and work it across field with the ball. This is Ruku charging into the defensive line as Paige Dudley steps in to the dummy half roll through Sarah Baldwin, still alive with Milo. The double around Waikato are playing with great fluidity at the moment as the second rower gets there, and then the dive for the try line. Now that is really good football. End-to-end rugby league. And Waikato ultimately are rewarded for their efforts. Solid play, and they're in for try number 3.
Yeah, you see good ball movement here, straight from the right side. Drops their second rower under Milo, sets the platform. Looks like they're going to shift to the left, and the defence line is sliding across, but straight out of dummy half. Sarah Baldwin with the vision. She knows how to score tries from dummy half, and that's what she's done right here to extend the lead for Waikato. But what a platform set here, and then just vision straight out of dummy half. Little jig, reaches out, Sarah Baldwin. Beautiful try.
Fine try too. That for a moment I thought she'd feign to go left, but effectively she just almost looked and shimmied towards the left and then reached out with her right hand and stretched underneath the defenders to get the ball down. So solid work, but the lead-up work for Waikato also was duly impressive as we look this time for the extras. And once again, that roll for Ali Kornui. You're watching round 5 of the Women's Premiership. Both these two teams, one win so far in the competition. Let's see if the extras can be added here this time around, and this one will raise the flags, and there is no debate about that conversion. 2 more points onto the scoreboard and stretching it out to 14-4 here. 20 minutes gone in these 35-minute halves, coming to you live on the biggest day of rugby league on Sky Sport. And really looking forward this afternoon to seeing our young men from New Zealand. So good in this year's New South Wales Cup, taking out that championship prestigious title, and now lining up against the best of the Q Cup as well with the Burleigh Bears. Kick-off time around 3:30 this afternoon in the build-up to tonight's NRL Grand Final, featuring the Broncos and the Storm. Should be a wonderful afternoon and evening of rugby league action here on Sky. And don't forget also, coming up the Pacifica Championship, having all the action as we see once again. A good solid carry to start the set from Nani Hokamo.
Beautiful carry. That's how you want to start your sets, and then backing up off the back of that is Hau, Manirewa Hau. She's a strong ball carrier, very good player. Played down in the Waikato competition this year. Last year obviously played for Taniwharo, but she's a brilliant player in herself. Some strong carries from these middles, setting the platform for Waikato. Then off the back of it, you see the likes of Baldwin trying to get a faster ruck speed, getting those middles clear to get a quick play the ball.
Solid work and tough work too through the middles, as you can see here, with a big carry that time around from Atatoa Ka, and great defence as well from Lova Araya, and a little juggle out wide as Sarah Payne couldn't quite control the football down the left edge. But they're full of running at the moment, Waikato. You mentioned Taniwharo. You've got proud clubs, of course, Huntly South, based here in Rahui Pōkeka, Huntly, and not too far away, just 10 or 15 K along the road. It's Ngāroa Wahia. You've got Tūlanga Waiwai and, of course, Ngāroa Wahia Panthers. So it's a proud rugby league community, the Waikato. And big ups to all who are watching out here on Sky Sport this afternoon, supporting their wahine tour. That's a Rosneil who will get to her feet. 22 gone, 14-4. Good scoreline for the home team. Up to play the ball there is Domavia Hedawini. There's a replacement in the mix. Leila Fu with her carry and wrapped up on Hokamo. He's done very well since she's come onto the field. Once again, Crosby turns and delivers. That ball's gone down. Little flick, clever, to Walton Benedict. And into the hands of Ropati. Ropati sees the line. Ropati's away for one, stepping back on the inside. Jayla Ropati, a superb effort from the wing three-quarter. And that is a fine conclusion to some great lead-up work from the Auckland Vulcans. Are in for try number 2.
Oh, beautiful try from Jayla Ropati. Looked like the defence of Waikato was sliding across and going to cover. Had a good step on her. Beat about 3 defenders along the way. She had a lot of work to do. Good ball movement here. Trinity, Crosby to Danny Nicole Gray. Ball shifts out. Here to Ropati. Payne just misses her. Howell misses her. Kornui misses her. And King Rewi misses her. 4 defenders. Good work there. And well-deserved try from Jayla Ropati.
Very good. And some beautiful stepping when she found herself in space to pick up as well. I think it was that it might have been Gray, and then to Georgia Wharton-Benedict finishing off there with Ropati. There's plenty of work to do for the winger, and she had great speed and evasive skills to swerve and step her way through 3 would-be defenders. And now looking to add the extras is the co-captain, is Danny Gray. 14-8 this time. Slicing the stakes and all as well. They'll get the ultimate 6 points and a 14-10 scoreline. Hope you're enjoying the action here on Sky Sport. Let's get another look at it.
Yeah, beautiful ball movement from the Vulcan side, spreading it from edge to edge. Didn't find the attacker in that instance, but it got out to the person in the moment. Scored this beautiful try, beating 4 defenders along the way, and Jayla Ropati. This Vulcans team are here to play. Davies Park, home in Waikato.
The Ropati is a pretty prominent name in our code. I'm not quite sure if she's associated with any of the Panama Road mob, but if you're watching on in, George and Pete, all the boys, Joe. This is Auckland with the football now. The crowd, blue and white, the white chevron, of course. Really liking the attitude that's being displayed here by these players today. Almost a galloping type carry this time and pushing them off left, right and centre. Wonderful work from Meliko Fusi. She's to her feet now. Through the back row, Trinity Crosby. Here they come, Auckland on the boil. This time it's Whakaosalea to her feet. Delivers a quick play the ball. A little dummy and slide from Louis. And she's put to ground under the tackle of Ngaronga Porima. So the blue and whites looking to add the extras. Now here's a kick taken at the back. I thought maybe in the end goal, that's the way the referee sees it. It must have been just outside the in goal and in the field of play. Waikato with the football. They need to respond, and this time it's a knock on. You can see the high fives coming in from the Auckland squad here. They know that this is exactly where they want to scrum feed. Danger time for Waikato.
Yeah, I thought that was caught in goal from Payne. But anyway, I'm not the ref. Unlucky there for Kornui. Good opportunity here for Vulcans though. Scrum right where they want to be attacking, and good ball.
Sound of the old locomotive smoking through Huntly as we go. On the main trunk railroad. Here comes Kofusi on the roll, and she gets there. Almost. I thought she'd reached down and made it good from dummy half. Well, Waikato, they recognise the danger too here. Shoring up. Here they come. The blue and whites. Over the top. Ambitious. Out wide. It's Joe Kiriopa. Says not on my watch. Wraps up Neil. Dummy half work, replacement on. This is Debbie Ufipua. Waikato need to be on their game here defensively. Of course, it was always going to be tough when the scrum was set just 10 metres out and up quickly on defence as Milo. Having a superb game, the first 5. Standoff. Through their hands. Whakaosalea keeps it alive. On to Crosby, threading the needle, Crosby. Pressure on at the back. It's taken in by the number 2, Sarah Payne. Auckland doing extremely well. And we'll restart from under the crossbar with sustained pressure from the blue and whites.
Oh, beautiful goal line defence from the Waikato side. Put a bit of pressure on, but just beautiful vision from Trinity Crosby. Thread that ball right through. Payne manages to regather it, but it'll be a goal line dropout. And the Vulcans get another opportunity here.
Just on 7 to play here in the first half of action. In this round 5 clash. Here's the restart. It's Kornui. And that's knocked on or knocked back. Let's see how the referee sees it. He will say that May Fuina Sasa, that the ball has gone backwards. Here's Afu. Waikato being asked to do a lot of defensive work at the moment. Meliko Fusi has been superb in her runs. Getting close to the line, Crosby holding it up. Here's Danny Gray again, stepping. Manages to get the offload out to Whakaosalea. She put to ground, just a couple of metres out from the line. Great opportunity. It's Louis who goes herself. Louis, this time, will make no mistake of it. Fina Louis into score for Auckland.
Yeah, no surprises there. She's been scoring tries like that all campaign. Straight out of dummy half. She picks her moments and she picks them well. She's scored many tries from the same spot. Straight out of dummy half, close to the line. She gets low. Seen this week in, week out. Bit of jigging here, offload. Set the platform here. Dragged in a couple of defenders. Bit of space, spots a bit of space and dive straight over.
It's very common, of course, and it's described as a coach killer because you always expect the nines to have a go from close range. As a coach, what do you expect from your players? How do you combat that threat, and what advice do you share?
Well, when we played the Vulcans, she was a threat because I had known that she had been scoring like that. So I just said, you know, anyone that's, when we're on the goal line, we call it pillars, make sure that our pillars are solid. Getting low to avoid that that movement of diving over the line, so being able to get under the hooker and hold her up. So that was my advice to my team anyway, but not sure how other coaches combat it, but that's how I approached it when we played against the Vulcans.
But you still concede tries because that's the hooker's bread and butter, isn't it? And even though you want to warn your players against that threat in the heat of the moment, sometimes it doesn't take very much, just a slight eye off the ball or a little piece of body movement in the wrong direction, creating that hole. And hookers, as we know, take full advantage. So I'm sure you've asked them to cover up, but at times had to concede as well that it's, like I say, bread and butter for hookers. Well, it's the first time that Auckland have been in the lead so far in the game. And after a half hour of action here at Davies Park in Huntly, it is Auckland 16 and Waikato 14. How much have you been enjoying this players' efforts? Monica Whakaosalea. I'm sorry, that's Mele Kaufusi in 11, but she has been absolutely dynamite today and not back to 10. So the Vulcans get the roll on. That early enthusiasm now from the Waikato squad will have to be replaced with deliberate and hard graft, because at the moment the blue and white seem to have a bit of momentum, and that's what this game is all about. The Waikato on defence, Vulcans on attack with the football. Georgia Wharton-Benedict. She's wrapped up. It's time for the defenders to really come to the fore here for Waikato. This is Whakaosalea. Strong in her carries, hard to put away, and claws an extra couple of metres just with guts and determination. She'll play it back onto Watene now in jersey number 14 for the blue and whites. And on the far side of the field, picking up here with Debbie Ufipoa. Gets to her feet quickly. Watene turns it out to the left-hand side. The rainbow ball on the far side is good. And Henawini is there to capitalise. Auckland score again in the corner out wide.
Yeah, this Auckland side have really found their momentum. Their middle pack has just been dominant, drawing the defenders in of this Waikato side, which has allowed these opportunities on the edges to be scored. Pulling the defence in, long ball across the top to find Herewini to score in the corner. But got to give it to the props, who have been just laying the foundation with their strong carries, building that momentum to allow the Vulcans to march up the field like that. Brilliant play from Vulcans.
And in particular, this wahine with the number 11 on her back is Domavia Herewini is credited with the try, and a good try it was too for the Vulcans. It's always pleasing for coaching staff when the tries are scored by the wingers, but the lead-up work from both Mele Kaufusi and Monica Whakaosalea has been absolutely spot on here in the later stages of this first half. This is a difficult conversion from wide out. And we've got one of our players, sends this one, strikes it pretty well, but it drifts across to the left-hand side. You're looking into the hills around Huntly, the beautiful town of Huntly, where the Waikato River proudly flows. I always get being from down those ways myself, Bristol, I always get the buzzers when I get over the hill, going down the Bombays, and I say, there you are, you beautiful Awa. Look at you in the mighty Waikato. Where's your bones from there, sister?
Just out of Whakatane, Matata.
At Matata.
Yeah, Matata.
I see. Umutahi, ne?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
I'd like to say kia ora to the fishmonger from Umutahi. Your Uncle Petty. Petty Perenara. He's got all the killer a man would want. And a story to tell each time you go to his shop. It's more like a discotheque, actually. They've got the old rock and roll tunes playing in the background, making fish and chips. Deadly as. Oh, Uncle Petty. So here we have Auckland Vulcans. They'll be wanting to just stay with what they've been doing now, whatever they've been eating lately. They want to get double doses of it. I'll have the economy size, they say, and there's just frustration building here with the Waikato defenders. And Debbie Ufipoa is ultimately the benefactor here. So they're on the roll here as we get another look. Love the post-contact meters, eh? You keep those legs pumping.
Oh, Vulcans must have massive post-contact meters from their forward pack. It's been running strong all game. Even the likes of Trinity Crosby.
There's the hooter in the background. Trinity Crosby will wrap it up. 20 points to 14. A very entertaining first half of action here in round 5 of the Sky Sports Women's Premiership. Hope you're enjoying the action as we celebrate the code throughout the day here on Sky Sport. We'll take a break from Davies Park here in Rahui Pōkeka, Huntly. And the Auckland Vulcans lead the Waikato Wahine 20 points to 14. We'll be back with another look at those tries scored in the first half and a bit of a wrap-up of that first 35. Great to have you with us right here in the home of NZ Rugby League, Sky Sport. Hoki mai rai te whānau kia Rahui Pōkeka. E mihi ki te ariki nui ngā wai hono i te pō. Mihi to our whananga from the Kingitanga as well. Of course, in Huntly, which was named after the Huntly Aberdeenshire in Scotland way back in the 1850s. But it's a very proud area of the Waikato Tainui people, and particularly for Ngāti Mahuta and Ngāti Whakia tribes from this area, and of course Wahipa, so prominent in matters pertaining to the people of Waikato Tainui. A pleasure to be broadcasting here at this proud venue, Davies Park, in the heart of Huntly. We go into the action with a 2014 scoreline, and Auckland were dominant in the latter stages of that first half. This is a knock-on. Perhaps you couldn't get a better start for the host squad, Waikato, here. And as we look there, well, there seems to be a little bit of work going on with the ball. A little bit more than a little, I'd have to suggest. Here I not. That's the way that the ref sees it. And Pauwharehenga certainly seemed to have a hand in there, but it's a great opportunity now for Waikato with the football. They were dominated really in the latter stages of that first half, and once again that ball is down, so really guilty of making too many errors and providing opportunity as Ros Neal comes up with the football, and Auckland once again get the chance to weave their magic through Chase Slade.
Yeah, not the way that either team would want to start the second half with 2 early errors. But when you see runners like this, strong carries, what we've seen from this Vulcan side, Petakeo and Mele Kafusi off the back of that. These two really set the platform, really dragged the defenders in, and we've seen the Vulcans being able to score on the edges.
Martinez sending it across through. Danny Gray drops it back on the inside. This is a beautiful angled run, full of courage and determination as well. To her feet is Whako Salia. They'll deliver the ball up quickly here. Fuena Sasa holding up the pass, and it's as straightforward as that. It's a great try to start the second stanza. And the Auckland team really are looking the goods here this afternoon. Once again, just showing the commitment. Let's get another look at Monica Whakaosalia. Beautiful run from the number 12 back into the traffic. Bold and courageous in her carry as they set themselves up, ultimately coming into the hands of Aros Neal, who will score the try out wide. Skillful play from the Auckland Vulcans and a great start, but Waikato made their own challenge because of dropped ball at the far end of the field. So they're made to pay immediately here in the second 35.
Yeah, beautiful vision from Sasa to find Te Aroha Neal, or as she likes to be called, Aros, running a nice line. Still had her winger and Mavia Hirawini on her outside too as another option, but chopped a good hole, scored a beautiful try. An awesome way for this Vulcan side to open up the second half.
Tell us a little more about Monica Whakaosalia. I really like her attitude and that angled run really set up the try, but she's been playing some good, or having some good strong carries right throughout the game.
Yeah, she's had some strong carries. I mean, she's done that all season for her club side as well. Strong carries. Last year she was actually with counties. She helped out with the younger girls too, so she gives back as well. But just a strong carry we're seeing here. Beautiful line run by Te Aroha Neal, but also good ball delivery from Sasa to find her. She also had a second rower there that she could have fed as well. But great team try from this Vulcan side.
There's Aroha, see you inside oil. You know all the nicknames, how to convert them back to their original names. No? You know her mother's maiden name?
No.
Have you got all the inside oil? Well, there's a dropped ball now. This could be what Waikato need as well. They need something to go their way. And you think that just for where they're heading, they'd be wanting to score next.
Yeah, Waikato have actually scored a couple of their tries off the back of Vulcan's errors, as we've seen. Their first try in Milo, there's a knock-on. She was able to regather and score, and then we've seen another try off an intercept as well. So let's see if this Waikato side can capitalise off another error from the Vulcans.
Here they come.
No, spoke too soon. Had another scrum and another lost ball straight off the back of it.
It's up to the captain to pull them all together, isn't it? And say, come on, holding on to the football is fundamental, of course. We can't mount a challenge unless we've got some sort of control. And at the moment, letting themselves down. You see those houses up on the hill line up behind there? That's the famous Huntley brick that's known around the world. In fact, there was a time where I'll just stay with this for a moment, where the community were thinking of building a statue of Tawara Nico made out of coal.
Really?
Yes. But he suggested it would be better if it was made out of gold.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. Mihana Kakwe Tawara. I think one day too he used one of his tractors to do some remedial work here on his beloved Davies Park. And this is a good run as well. And I must also acknowledge Rex Wahaya, who was in our opening shot for our coverage today. And here they come again, Auckland. And there's another intercept of the wheels here this time. I think not. Pulled to ground there is Javon Henry. But Waikato have the football and just asked to back it up. So where are some of the wheels here? We just need some commitment. This is Paige back again. Paige Dudley's very direct runner. She might just give them the direction that has been lacking in the last 20 or 30 minutes back into the hands of Precious Iripa. And she's bundled up and put away too. Grasped by Meliko Fusi. To the back rower, Sarah Baldwin. They scored midway through that first half for Waikato. Slow to her feet and appealing to the referee. Back on the inside for the second rower. At the Tuaka. Short side for Waikato. Kick, wanting the bounce to be right. It's going towards touch on the far side of the field and allowed to go there through Chase Lade as they bring it in field. Just again a recap, half time 20-14. Just the one try to scored by the number 3. There was Neil for the 24-14 scoreline that we see at the moment. Happy birthday for the other day, sis.
Thank you.
It was a significant milestone, but of course, too polite to mention numbers myself. But
I don't mind. I think everybody knows.
no, they don't. No? Well, I'm not going to say it if you are.
I'm
but,
21. Everybody knows
it. Of course, that's right. Wahadi hudi tau kakwe te tuinia. Again, arms up, pick the ball up and run. Oh, gee. She's enjoying her game out there today. Loving the attitude that Mellie's bringing to her footy and the fend as well. Solid on Paige Dudley. Auckland, this is good play from them as well. Once it's out again here to Neil, and Neil's towards the sideline. She is dragged into touch. I might have thought it a little high from Kornui. Referee says I'm okay with it. But again, just a reminder of how quickly they can break away, this Auckland Vulcans team, with that beautiful carry. Then out to Rose Neil. And a little bit lucky, really, not to get pegged for that one, I suggest. Waikato with the football. Seem to be going nowhere at the moment. All the ascendancy on behalf of the Blue and Whites. 24-14. All the running, all the ball, and all the attitude at the moment coming from the Vulcans. Across the top on D is Afu.
Yeah, this Vulcans side really dominating here on defence. Actually putting a lot of pressure on the Waikato side and forcing a couple of errors. Discipline's lapsing a little bit here with a penalty to the Waikato team. Probably just what they need.
They're certainly lifted up. There's nothing untoward in the way that the player was put to ground. Far from a drive, but even so, dangerous and appropriately recognised by the referee. Let's have another look at that. Big players eventually laid her to ground, their opponent. But had they not, it could have turned dangerous. Referee was right to penalise Waikato. A little bit of one-out running. This time it's Maava Atatoka. And she's wrapped up. And the tackle of the 18 grey was scored early on in the contest. Back to Tamaki Whatarangi. Just not making the inroads, Waikato, that they were in the early stages of the first half. Here's Dudley trying to weave her way through some heavy traffic on the 30-metre line. Better play. Kornui. Corner. Going for, then stepping back on the inside. Henry is wrapped up. Rain starting to fall here. And the Waikato, as the kick into the end goal is just a little bit heavy. And that's recognised too by Callista Ruruku. As we come back underneath the crossbar, so ultimately it actually turned out pretty good for them, Waikato.
Yeah, I think Te Aroha Neil was waiting for it to bounce out. But luck of the bounce for Ruruku didn't go out. She actually had to force it out, so they get a goal line dropout, this Waikato team.
Yeah, well, it was just touched by the Auckland player. So now Waikato with the ball. You can hear plenty of support for them as well, as Ali Kornui takes the ball in. She's content to take the tackle and goes to ground under the efforts predominantly of Neil. Ropati delivers on, turning it on the inside. Here comes Wharehinga. Great defence as well. Auckland ready for the carry and set themselves up nicely. Sarah Baldwin now onto Iripa, and she's able to get the ball back to Sarah Baldwin, holding up the pass. It's gone wide. That was a try going begging on the far side of the field, and the ball is lost. That's one that got away from Waikato.
It sure did. Probably would have been a better option to go through the hands, hold up the sliding defence. See here, they try to shift too wide too early. They actually have Milo there, who could have fed the outside, but a wasted opportunity for this Waikato side, and Vulcans get another opportunity.
46 minutes gone of a 70-minute game here. This is round 5 of the Women's Premiership. It's the Vulcans who have picked themselves up Of course, our commentator today, Crystal Ruta, said that Waikato actually did really well in the back half of the game last week. And are we going to see some sort of revival? They'll want to be getting moving soon, down by 10. And Gray has the ball, coming under some defensive pressure too by Precious City Park. On again to one of the stars of the show. The belle of the ball, if you will. It's Meliko Fusi with another big, strong carry forward. Full of running today, and there's a knock on. The pass wasn't great. Waikato would benefit ultimately. Despite her best efforts, Danny Gray couldn't get hold of it. Another look. Just a misdirected pass from dummy half. As simple as that. Well, let's see a turnover of momentum. Waikato with the football. Kornui into dummy half. This is Payne. Wrapped up by Fuena Sasa. Waikato need to get moving. Henry. A little bit of one out running though for at this stage. Early in the tackle count though. Dudley. Kornui. Comes under the attention of Whakaotelea once again. Henry, slow to her feet and understandably. Just a little bit too slow according to the referee, and it will be a opportunity to go downfield here for Waikato.
Yeah, this Waikato team have gone away from what they were doing in the first half, getting some lateral movements in there off their halves, but they've kind of gone back and reverted back to one off the ruck kind of running, which has been easy picking for the defence of Vulcans. So if they can go back to doing what they were doing in the first half, I think they'll find more success around that.
Tēnā tuhi now, Tautoko. Quick play the ball. Janai Kingrewa. She had that 80-metre run in that first half, but again, an example. Perhaps a isolated run. Let's see if there is a little bit more cohesion on the attack with this carry from Ayavata to a car. Again, one out running. Fairly predictable for the defensive line. For the Auckland Vulcans, Sarah Baldwin sends it on the inside for Tamaki Whatarangi, but she can't find her way through. Solid defence again from the second rowers, Kofusi and Whakaotelea. They're playing strong, these second rowers for Auckland. Sarah Baldwin isolated and claimed. Dudley, left edge, holding, and the pass ultimately was difficult to take, and really nothing could come from it for Kingrewa. Quick play the ball onto Milo now. Milo threading the needle herself, pushing it into the end goal, and there's the dive for the try. The referee says it was knocked on though. It looked impressive, but from here would tend to agree with the referee's call. Now Auckland get underway quickly through the hands, and that's halfway. So some great work here for Auckland. Dummy half, Helawini. Here comes the roll on with Gale. Gale still, Peter Gale still. Gale strong, and then is cut down. But a great run picking up 30 metres. The prop forward right in front of the post. Here's Helawini to the right-hand side. Picks up Gray. Back on the inside for Gray and still driving towards the line. She's ultimately just a couple of metres away, but it's still very dangerous time for Waikato. And Azania Watele makes Waikato pay. Great set from Auckland and a fulfilling effort and a wonderful result for the Blue and Whites.
Oh, they went from one end of the field to the other. Just didn't give up, this Vulcans team. Look at this carry here from Peter Gale. Grabs all the yards. Good tackle there from Milo. Defense line is still retreating though. They've got numbers on this right edge. Nicole Gray has a go herself. Isn't able to find the line. But you see the hooker here coming in to dummy half. And she just has a go herself. Watene, straight out of dummy half. Beautiful try there from Vulcans.
Well, you can see just how a little mistake can translate into a try down the other end of the field. A magnificent run from Peter Gale. And at one stage, I thought she might have been going all the way. Backed up there from Gray from close range, ultimately finished off from even closer range to from dummy half, and Asani Watane in for the try. 28 points to 14. That's a lot of breathing space now here for the Auckland Vulcans, and a lot of work to be done if Waikato were to get the 2 points here this afternoon. Right in front of the sticks, this one is no mistake. And they kick it out to 30 points to 14. Good show here from the Vulcans, and very satisfying for their connections, George Carmont. And, of course, his connections will be well and truly pleased with the way this blue and white squad have tracked, well, into the first half with a 6-point lead. But since they've come out in the second half, really looking the goods.
Yeah, he must have had a very motivational speech at half-time for his team to come out the way they have in the second half. They've been dominant this whole second half, had a lot of the possession, but it's been what they've actually done with the ball, what they've done defensively to extend their lead that they have here. But as we seen last week with this Waikato team, they were down 24-0 at half-time against Wellington to then come back and win 32-28, so you just never know.
Well, there's a lot of work to be done, and you can't do it without the football, so that's the first job at hand. There's only a Watson here too, fleet of foot. Glides across the turf as well. Looks the goods as the back rower, Trinity Crosby, injects herself into the game. She had a strong first half, Trinity. She's put away by her opposite, numbers 8, Sarah Baldwin. And just full of running at the moment, all the momentum with the Vulcans. Watane 2, dummy half. Fullbacks into the mix. Slade, inside ball for Gale once again. She is causing no end of problems as well. Puts the ball down, gets to play the ball quickly. Fullback, holding, runner on the inside. Smooth. And for a moment I thought we'd go all the way, Crosby. But scrambling D sees her halted just a metre out from the try line, and then into the hands here, popping the pass, still alive for the blue and whites. In the hands, I think, at the moment of Neil. And there's the turnover. So Waikato survive that raid. But, gee, they've been made to work hard on defence. A real challenge for them. It's sapping their energy. And, of course, affecting their attacking prowess as well because of the energy levels. Having to do so much defensive work as the Vulcans have been running rampant. There's a double around, and this time in the hands of Janaya King-Lewa once again, but she's close to the touchline, and is she driven across it on the far side of the field? No, she isn't. Stays in the field of play. Let's see what Waikato can deliver up. Paige Dudley, straight and direct once again. She's a courageous player, Paige. Let's see if Waikato can muster up some attacking magic at the moment. They're on the halfway line and just a little bit slower than their opponents in getting to their feet. Here's Idipa once again, and she loses control of the football, and the referee will say it's a knock on. Precious thinks that it was assisted, but too cool to raise it with the referee. Well, I don't know, it's just sort of shot out, didn't it?
Yeah, this ball must be a little bit slippery. The conditions has been a little bit rainy. But another missed opportunity for Waikato. Started to run a bit more laterally. They had a bit more ball movement, getting a bit wider from the ruck, which has seen them get up the field a bit further. But we've seen here Sasa with a strong carry to start this set for the Vulcans.
Maifuina Sasa, jersey number 6 here. Everyone's getting an opportunity to carry the football today. And that will continue on as well as Debbie Ofiport puts the big fend on as well. And then the ball is stripped, and, well, the referee had his eyes there on Kornui. Clouds gathering in the background here at Lahui Pōkeka, and likewise for the fate of this squad as far as this game is concerned for Waikato. Clouds gathering will be an apt description of where they find themselves on the scoreboard too, as we see, is this Westy? 25, Westy Westerland. Out the back, and with numbers, Tackle needs to be made. It is. And Neil, but still close to. You got to think the blue and white will be into score in just a moment. Holding the football, spinning in the end to the try line as the ref called it. No, held up. Well, that'll give some hope here to Waikato. Another try would, I think, make it completely out of reach. There's still 13 minutes to play here. And we've seen things happen, but they just seem to be out of energy at the moment, don't they, Waikato? Struggling
Yeah,
to
they're
keep up.
really struggling just because they've been doing so much defence. It'll be very tiring having some of these middles from this Vulcans team continuously running at you time and time again, especially with the amount of errors and having to do back-to-back sets of defence. They're just finding it very hard to find energy to attack. And then you've got the line speed and the aggressiveness of this Vulcans team coming at you.
Mayfuida Sasa getting into the mix and frustration building here as well. More so from the Waikato women's perspective than their opponents here today. And despite good efforts like that, a great little offload ultimately doesn't result in too many extra metres. Sarah Baldwin gets back to her feet, and Whakao Salea again, a reminder of what a good game she's had on both attack and defence. Here's one that's sent deep and taken smartly from Shea Slade, who has the football, and she's tackled on the far side of the field as the Vulcans continue their march towards victory here this afternoon. Across field, Hokamo making the defensive play, and it's a dummy half header when he has it. Showing little dummy and is wrapped up by Dudley, but she's quick to her feet to play the ball. Back right onto Gray. Once again, that angled run back on the inside for Whakao Salea. Really like the way she cuts back across the grain, Monica. And short side play here. Westerland with the football. And June comes to grief, only about 12 metres out from the try line. You've got to think they're a good chance once again. The Vulcans' confidence is high, skill levels on show here this afternoon. They're putting the ball through the line. It ends up in the hands of Neil. She's lost it, though. And coming up with it here is Sarah Payne. And she's pushed towards touch. I don't think there was an advantage. That's how the ref sees it as well. And so Waikato will end up with the football. That's Sarah Payne. Let's get another look here. I mean, there was certainly a hand in there, but it was one-on-one. Sarah comes up with the ball and is dragged towards the touchline ultimately. And the referee will say there was no advantage. Scrum feed for Waikato, 8 metres out from their own line.
Yeah, Waikato are going to need to work hard to get out of this danger zone and try and keep a error-free set. Try and get some yards.
10 minutes to go or thereabouts. 20-14 at the break. 10 points scored. Tries through Neil and Watere here for the Vulcans. And again, big kia ora and thank you to all of our wahine who've taken part in this year's Premiership celebration of Women's Rugby League on this side of the Tasman. A lot of club footy, of course, but a chance to play in the provinces with Wellington, Canterbury, Waikato, and of course the Auckland-based teams. As I say, a celebration of provincial and representative rugby league now. This is creating a shot on the far side for King Rewa. Comes up to the defensive line. Pops the pass back on the inside for Sarah Baldwin. She sends it across there to Ururuku. And that one has gone forward as well. A wry smile as they recognise that just pushing the pass at the wrong moment can bring you undone. Probably needed to take the tackle there.
Yeah, just needed to settle it. They were in a good position if they just took the tackle to, you know, throw some shape, have a good attacking opportunity. But yeah, just trying to force the pass, I think, too much, and they're just causing themselves some errors. But got to give credit to the Vulcans, especially in the ruck area. They've really been winning the ruck. All the players are fighting for a quick play the ball. They're generating good momentum and ruck speed. Everyone's putting the effort in to try and play the ball quickly. And when they're on defence, they're really stacking as well to slow down any momentum that the Waikato side are trying to regather.
Well, that's a good defensive effort late in the game too. And Helluini certainly felt it. That ball's gone down. Well, the finalists have already been determined in this Women's Premiership. You'll be looking forward to that next week. What sort of form is your team and your opponents taking into the game?
Yeah, well, we sort of, I guess, had a dress rehearsal yesterday of the finals with us playing Akarana yesterday. It was actually a really good game. The score probably doesn't reflect that. It was 44-4, but I think the physicality of the game itself and just the skill set showed from both sides was a good game. And when it comes to finals footy, we all know that, you know, the previous games do not matter and it doesn't matter what's been done in the rounds. So really looking forward to that. Looking forward to the opportunity for the girls, for my girls. They've been training hard and prepping well for the grand final.
Well, we're looking forward to that as well. All the action coming your way on Sky Sport as we see Waikato with the football. Is there a rear guard challenge? They appeal that the ball has been lost. Paige Dudley is to her feet, plays it back to Ruruku, who'll swing it across to Wharehinga now. So a little opportunity. They've been few and far between really in the second half here for Waikato. But backtracking as the Auckland Vulcans have dominated through Sarah Baldwin. And now crashing towards the line. Good carry here from Hokamo. Can she get there though, Hokamo? She's certainly close. The referee's having a decent look. And there is a penalty, never back to 10. So Waikato will get another opportunity here. A converted try will take them to 10 points. They need to quick play the ball. Time is their enemy. Howell has the football now. Mandarewa, Howell is put to ground just a couple of metres away from the try line. Dummy half work for Paige Dudley. Will she have a look at going herself? Having a look, all right. But the door closes quickly. Reading that play certainly was the co-captain, Danny Gray. Sarah Baldwin, long ball, holding up the pass and picking out King Rewa. To ground. Waikato, they'll certainly want to get another piece of action on the scoreboard. This is Maavata to a car, but she can't get through the wall of Auckland defenders. Got to get the ball away, leaving it behind. Deemed a knock on though. And so this opportunity close to the line for the Waikato squad is squandered.
Good defence there from Danny Nicole Gray. I think she would have made about 3 tackles in that set. She was the one that forced that error from Paige Dudley. It just looks like the Waikato team have run out of ideas.
Yeah, ideas, a little bit of gas as well. It happens. Fatigue setting in at the back end of the game. Auckland Vulcans will be satisfied with their work and should be as well. It's been a strong showing. Taking a 2014 lead into the second half. And the centre here has had a strong game today, right across the board. Aris Neal, she's to her feet. Working down the short side. My certainly standout for me has been Meliko Fusi. Alongside Whakao Salea, just deadly, the second rowers. This player too has had a strong game, plenty of great fins like that. I mean, good carries. And showing a lot of ability and determination. Through the hands, Fuena Sasa, and a wide ball well taken too by Helluini. Couldn't profit too much, but it was a skillful take. Slade gets the ball downtown, and this one will roll end over end into the end goal. Some challenges at the back for Konua. And she is eventually tackled, predominantly by Jayla Ropati. Very slow to retire as well, Waikato. And they can also see that their chances of a victory have elapsed. Really just playing out for the end of their season. Which brings into the question the value of the competition itself and the opportunity for our young players and not so young players, but to showcase their efforts We touched on it right from the start, a high tackle here, and understandably Howell will receive that on behalf of her squad. A little bit of cramp settling in. Here's Howell now on the lewa, and yeah, wrapping around the neck while this one's not on. Yeah, a bit like that. Just it's a bit of cramp here. Although I'm a little bit hesitant to make calls of a medical nature from the commentary position.
But you're right, it does look like a cramp.
Well, it gives us an opportunity to thank all the medical staff. You work with them all the time, committed people, and really you can't run teams without them, so they don't get too many accolades or kudos.
Yeah, and I guess the game today, you know, we actually have physios and we have medical staff there. I remember there was times where we didn't, and it's quite scary to think, you know, not having medical staff there, because the nature of the game is very physical and can sustain some pretty serious injuries. So definitely have to give credit to all the physios across the board and that are with all the teams. Appreciate them for keeping us safe and keeping our players safe during this very brutal game of rugby league.
Turn up there, Crystal. Yeah, they do a good job as well, the trainers. All the connections for squads. Of course, we tend to talk with and mention coaches, but well, they can't do it on their own. And again, this is Janai King-Lewa with that wonderful try in that first half to a long-range try and a good one to witness. Atutoka once again will fight it out to the death, so to speak, as we see Waikato with the football. They dearly love to get another try, and so with the crowd here today. Here's Howell, who has the football and goes strongly towards the posts. Howell needs a quick play the ball. 2.5 minutes to play here. Waikato, can they get across the line? Here's Ruruku, weaves the ball out to Henry, who has it, but she crawls her way to the line, ultimately coming up just a little short. Into the hands of Callista once again, and the crossfield bomb is put up where it's taken nicely on the far side of the field. Make no mistake, they have operated slickly today, and perhaps one of their better performances of recent weeks, as Lopati shows a good skill set and takes the ball in on the far side of the field. They can just ease their way through the set now, Auckland. Although there'll be no easing from Melly as she gets hold of the football once again. And Howell pushes her to ground. Kofusi gets up with a bit of a smile on her face, and that's the way it should be, but she's really been hard to contain today, Melly Kofusi. Great fend. Strong carries.
Wasn't happy with that at all. Here she goes again. In the pre-match show, their coach, the Vulcans coach, Ming, had mentioned if they had more time together, results could be different, and I totally agree with that comment, because this Vulcans team have just grown from strength to strength each week. Despite this little error here, they have been, you know, getting better every week, and I totally agree with what he said there. And I love that they've given today a couple of girls opportunities to play. They haven't played through the campaign as well, because, you know, I know as a coach you just want everyone to play and everyone deserves the opportunity, so that the fact that they've allowed that today is as they close out their campaign is shows, you know, awesome work from their coaching staff. Now another little thumble off the back of the scrum from Paige Dudley. See some frustration setting in from a few players.
But it's done and dusted now with 16 points in it and the Huda about to go. But we take our hats off to these Waihingi on show here today. All the players that have been involved in the National Women's Premiership, and of course acknowledging Sky Sports' willingness to highlight these games from regional parts of the country. From down in Wellington, of course, 3 of the teams being from Tamaki Makaurau, but great to have footy coming out of Waikato here, and in particular this famous venue, Davies Park, the home of Waikato Rugby League in the heart of Huntly. Mikana Kawahine Toa, and so wonderful to have their rugby league here on Sky Sport. Ultimately, it's the Auckland Vulcans Day at Davies Park today with a 16-point win, full-time in round 5 of the NZRL Women's Premiership. It's Auckland Vulcans 30 at Waikato 14. Lots to like about what we've witnessed here this afternoon, and of course as the code builds and encouraging more young players to involve themselves in a game that you've grown to love, the skillfulness of it, the requirements of courage and of attitude and heart, and of course the finesse required to really get yourself through to the top. There's something here for everybody, and ultimately that's what Sky Sport are trying to do to support the game as we look at the highlights reel, and particularly for the Auckland team, it reads pretty strong in the second half.
Yeah, beautiful. Just a beautiful ball there from Sasa Te Aroha Neil. That was the Vulcans' first try to open up the second half. And then this try here, platform set. No one able to get Nicole Gray to the ground. And then Watene straight out of dummy half. Caught a few defenders napping here from the Waikato side. Spotted some space next to the post and dived through. There's only 2 tries scored in that second half, and they were both from the Vulcans, nothing from the Waikato side. But still a brilliant display of footy from both of these two teams to close out their campaign. I love the fact that, you know, the ladies get these opportunities and the broadcasting that we are very fortunate to have to showcase their talents and skills as they should be. Our wahine put in a lot of time into our great game, a lot of mums, a lot of young players and people that put a lot of effort into it. So love that it's broadcasted and showcased here on Sky Sport.
Tēnā koe, Crystal, I tautoko i o kōrero tuhine. And as we see these two teams coming together in a show of respect for each other's efforts there, and as Crystal was saying, the main thing is that they realise that their efforts are valued across the country. And as we've touched on before, it's real easy to sit at home and watch sport. There's a lot of commitment that goes into preparing yourself for these games, and as we look at the coaching staff too, reminded of the role that they play in honing the skills and developing the encouragement for players to advance in this sport and in other physical efforts. Well, it's been great having you with us here this afternoon as well. Obviously, it's a big afternoon of rugby league here on Sky with the New South Wales Cup squad going in for the interstate games, and a hearty round of applause as well for both teams here this afternoon. We'll get a chance to go down and get some post-match thoughts. Let's go down sideline and get some of those thoughts with our players off the back of today's result.
Well, Nikita, you guys put in a lot of mahi today. Thoughts on the game?
I think started off strong, but I think the fatigue in the end got the best of us and Vulcans executed well. So, yeah, props to them.
Yeah, you did start really well, you know, a couple of breakaway tries and, you know, got on top early. But as you say, maybe fitness cost you a bit?
Yeah, I think that was lacking on our, side of things.
How have you found the comp this year?
It's been good. I think most important was just the work-ons throughout the competition. Lots of newbies in our team, and so, yeah, that'll be our win for the season, I guess. Yeah, some good competitive games in the end too, so.
Yeah, exactly, because you pushed a lot of teams this year.
Yeah, well, we tried.
Get the results in some occasions.
Yeah, we were hoping for one more win, but yeah, up to Vulcans for taking it out.
Well done, because you represented the region with pride. Well done.
Appreciate it.
That's Nikita Ngarongo Porima, and I hope you enjoyed the action here today. We'll just see if we can get some thoughts from the Auckland connections here. Just doing a little bit of work on our microphone sideline. Well, Crystal, there's George Carmont, and great to see George. You've known George for a long time. Lost his papa this year as well, but just respect the contribution that his family have put into the code. Both his daughter is doing pretty well in the game as well, and of course this goes to all the clubs. And to say kia ora to your dad as well, Roger Rota, if you're watching it today. Just waiting to get the okay to go sideline once again. I think we're sweet to go. So let's go and join Fred again sideline for post-match IVs.
Well, guys, congrats on a good win today. How pleasing to finish on a winning note.
It's always good to end the campaign on a win. Yeah, it was such a good game out there, our last one, so it was good to get the W under our belt for this last one.
Bit of a slow start though, wasn't it?
Yeah, a couple of errors let us down, but we were able to get the win, so it's good to finish off.
What was the message at half time? Because you'd got yourselves in front, but obviously Waikato had pushed you really hard in that first 35 minutes.
It was just to like stay composed and to look after the ball, look after each other, and just go out there and just give it everything. Yeah.
Well, congratulations again. Good win and yeah, nice way to finish the season.
Thank you.
You know, as we wrap up coverage of the final round, Crystal, it is right that we acknowledge, you know, the growth of the game. It's an important aspect for the growth of rugby league as we see this proud Vulcan side getting a picture for what might be their last on-field opportunity in 2025. What we do know is that there's a growth in interest from our rangatahi across the board, and with the advent of the NRLW, the professionalism, and the game still to come up, there's a lot of pluses to the performances from all the teams associated with the squad. The Stingrays, the Bulls, coming up on Sunday of next week as well. That's going to be a hell of a game too, wrapping up the men's Premiership for 2025, and certainly wishing you well, Crystal, as your team get to play out in the final of the women's game as well. Some thoughts as we say farewell from Huntley?
Oh, just that it's been a great campaign. Yes, we are looking forward to this final next week at 2 p.m. on Sunday against the Vulcans. Just excited for the footy that these women get, the opportunities that the women get, and just excited to see where the game goes with all the pathways we have, like you said, with the Warriors back in the competition for the NRLW. These teams are where, you know, girls get a looking at, and where their pathway is for us here in Aotearoa to be looked at for those sides. So, yeah, just looking forward to where footy is heading for women in general, and excited to see where that goes.
It's been a pleasure working alongside you once again. Crystal Laughter with us today from me, Dale, and the rest of our team, including Dino, our director, Fred Sideline. Want to wish you well. Thanks to our camera staff. Thanks to Sky Sport for bringing Provincial Rugby League across the lounge rooms of Aotearoa. Nei rā te mihi kia koutou I o koutou tautoko te kaupapa o Futu Pororiki I te ahi nei. From Davies Park in Huntly, Dale, Crystal, signing out and wishing you well. Enjoy the rest of the day, and, well, go Rugby League, winner on the day. And you called it all here on Sky Sport.